Beloved chosen one, what you are about to hear is no accident. You have been divinely led here, drawn by the unseen hand of God, because something miraculous is about to unfold in your life. This message is not just words, it is a divine revelation. Prepare your heart, for God is about to bestow upon you a gift beyond comprehension, a gift that will transform not only your soul, but your body, your mind, and your very existence. You are standing on the precipice of a miraculous shift, an awakening that will renew your youth, energize your spirit, and even grant you the eternal vitality that only God can bestow. This is not just a change in mindset, it is a divine transformation. Yes, this is real, and it is for you. This moment is sacred. It is a calling to embrace the destiny that God has written for you before the foundation of the world. You are stepping into a powerful new chapter, one where long-held dreams begin to manifest, and supernatural blessings pour over you like an unending waterfall. So stay with me until the very end, because deep within your spirit, you already know that this is the message you have been waiting for. It is the final confirmation of what God has been whispering to you all along. Now let us journey together into the extraordinary blessings God has in store for you. When God chooses you, He grants you a gift that defies the very concept of time, a divine blessing that does not fade with age, but renews, restores, and transforms you from within. This is not a fleeting moment of vitality, nor a temporary glimpse of youthfulness. It is an eternal renewal that reaches into the depths of your soul, redefining your very essence. To be chosen by God is to step into a life where restoration is constant, where each day is infused with new strength, and where the burdens of the past no longer hold power over you. This transformation is not simply about appearing younger, it is about radiating an undeniable energy, a vibrance, and a purpose that cannot be overlooked. As this divine renewal takes root within you, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your energy shifts in ways you never imagined. You no longer carry the weight of exhaustion that once slowed your steps. A newfound lightness fills your spirit, and the weariness that once clouded your mind is lifted. Your very presence becomes unmistakable, and the way you move through life changes. Where once you may have felt overlooked, now you find that people are drawn to you, not just by your outward appearance, but by the radiance that exudes from deep within. This is the glow of God's presence working through you, a supernatural force that commands attention and inspires those around you. With each passing day, this transformation becomes more evident. Those who have known you for years will pause, trying to comprehend the difference. They may struggle to put it into words, but they will see it. They will see the undeniable hand of God at work in your life, the toll of time, the marks of struggle, and the scars of hardship that once seemed permanent will begin to fade. The years that once weighed heavily upon you will be reversed, not through human effort, but by the miraculous power of God's renewal. This is not mere poetry or wishful thinking, it is a supernatural reality. When God moves in your life, His work is not subtle, it is glorious. The changes He brings are not minor adjustments, they are radical, breathtaking, and impossible to ignore. You will wake up each morning with renewed strength, look into the mirror, and see the evidence of divine restoration staring back at you. You will feel it in the way you walk, in the way you carry yourself, in the way joy and peace seem to follow you wherever you go. This transformation is far beyond human understanding, for it is not bound by earthly limitations. It is a testament to the power of the Almighty, who makes all things new. It is not conditional, it is not fleeting. This is the promise of God, an eternal renewal that transcends time itself. He is restoring you, reviving you, and making you a living testament to His divine power. As you continue to walk in faith, your life will shine with a brilliance that can only come from Him, and you will become a beacon of His love, His grace, and His unending renewal. One of the most remarkable aspects of God's divine transformation is the radiant glow that accompanies it, a glow that is both seen and felt, impossible to ignore. When God renews you, He does not simply work in the unseen depths of your spirit. His presence shines through you in a way that touches everything about you, including your very appearance. This is not the glow of worldly beauty or fleeting youth, but the unmistakable mark of His Spirit at work. The vitality of His presence manifests in you, and those around you will notice. People will begin to wonder. They will look at you with curiosity, sensing something has changed but unable to fully comprehend what it is. What has happened? Why do they look so radiant? What is this energy they carry? They will be drawn to you, not because of superficial beauty or external charm, but because they will see the undeniable light of God shining through you. There is something supernatural about a person who has been touched by God's presence, and that glow cannot be manufactured, imitated, or hidden. It is a reflection of the Holy Spirit's deep, transformative work within you. This glow is more than a metaphor. It is a spiritual and physical reality. When God renews your spirit, it manifests in every aspect of your being. Your eyes will sparkle with an unmistakable light, not just a brightness, but a deep and soulful radiance that comes from divine joy. Your countenance will be lifted, free from the burdens that once dimmed your spirit. Your posture will change, carrying a newfound confidence and strength that reflects the assurance of walking in God's purpose. The weariness that once made you feel small and exhausted will be replaced with supernatural energy, an energy that exudes peace, purpose, and vitality. The change in you will be impossible to ignore. It will not be something you need to explain, because the evidence will speak for itself. People will see the peace in your expression, the light in your eyes, the strength in your step. Even before you speak a word, they will sense something divine at work in your life. You will radiate a presence that commands attention, not with loudness, but with the quiet, undeniable power of God's renewal. And the most beautiful part? This glow is not something you strive for. It is something God freely bestows upon you as a testament to His power and grace. It is a reflection of the intimate work He is doing in your heart, spilling over into the physical realm in ways that amaze even you. As you walk in alignment with His purpose, this glow will only intensify, becoming a beacon that draws others toward the light of Christ. So embrace this visible transformation. Let the world see what God has done. Let them marvel at the evidence of His presence in your life. For when God renews, He does so completely inside and out, and His radiance in you will be impossible to ignore. This transformation is far more than just a physical change. It is the undeniable evidence that God is at work in your life. When He renews you, He does not merely restore your outward appearance. He breathes new life into your soul, aligning you with His divine purpose and drawing you into a deeper relationship with Him. Every part of you, your heart, your mind, your body, is being realigned with His perfect will, bringing you into harmony with the destiny He has ordained for you. This is not a surface-level renewal. It is a profound, life-altering shift that touches every fiber of your being. As this divine transformation unfolds, you will begin to feel an extraordinary closeness to God, as if the very fabric of your existence is being rewoven with His love and power. He is drawing you nearer, calling you into deeper intimacy with Him, and molding you into a living testament of His grace. Your life is becoming a reflection of His goodness, a beacon of His presence, and a vessel through which His miraculous power is revealed to the world. People will look at you and see more than just physical renewal. They will witness the work of the Almighty, a transformation that cannot be explained by human reasoning alone. And here is the most astonishing truth. This transformation is eternal. The world may sell the illusion of youth through artificial means, but it can never provide the deep, lasting renewal that comes from God alone. His work is not bound by time, genetics, or human limitations. It does not wear out, nor does it depend on earthly conditions. What God restores, He restores completely and forever. The renewal you are experiencing is not random. It is a divine sign. It is the mark of your calling, the evidence that you have been set apart for something greater. As you embrace this transformation, you will begin to realize that the closer you walk with God, the stronger and more radiant this renewal will become. His presence will continue to refine you, strengthening your spirit, sharpening your purpose, and filling you with supernatural vitality. Each step in faith will bring even greater transformation, and you will find yourself living in a state of continuous renewal, untouched by the limitations of this world. So step boldly into this divine renewal. It is a work of God, eternal, powerful, and life-changing. The more you surrender to His plan, the more He will reshape you into the masterpiece He always intended you to be. This is the power of divine renewal, and it is only the beginning of the extraordinary journey God has prepared for you. Transformation is a powerful and life-changing process, but it does not always come without opposition. When God begins to renew you, refining your spirit, strengthening your faith, and aligning your life with His divine purpose, there will be those who question the changes they see in you. Some will struggle to understand the new version of you because it challenges their perception of who you once were. They may resist, not because they intend harm, but because they are unprepared to comprehend the depth of God's work in your life. This resistance can come from many places. Friends who once knew you may not recognize the person you are becoming, and some may feel left behind. Family members who have grown accustomed to the old version of you might feel unsettled by your newfound confidence and spiritual awakening. Even your own thoughts may try to deceive you, planting seeds of doubt and whispering that this transformation is too good to be true. The enemy will attempt to make you question your journey, using the voices of others or even your own fears to shake your faith. But hear this truth. Do not let the opinions of others deter you from the path God has set before you. You were not created to live according to human expectations, but according to God's divine calling. When He calls you higher, when He reshapes and refines you, not everyone will understand. And that is okay. You are not meant to please the world. You are meant to walk in obedience to the one who created you. Stand firm in your divine calling. Do not shrink back out of fear or a desire to fit into the expectations of others. Embrace the transformation fully, knowing that it is God's hand guiding you every step of the way. Those who are meant to walk alongside you will recognize His power in you, and those who do not understand will, in time, see the undeniable evidence of His work. Let trust in the process. You are stepping into the person God always intended you to be, and no amount of resistance can stop His purpose from unfolding in your life. Every true transformation requires a process of release. Just as a tree must be pruned to grow stronger and bear more fruit, your journey of renewal may require you to let go of things that no longer serve your divine purpose. This is not a punishment, but a necessary step towards stepping fully into the life God has planned for you. There may be relationships that once felt comfortable, but no longer align with your destiny. Some people who were part of your past may not be meant to journey with you into your future. This does not mean you love them any less, but rather that God is leading you into a new season, one where only those who are aligned with His purpose for your life can walk beside you. There may be beliefs you have held on to, beliefs shaped by fear, past experiences, or the world's limitations that keep you from fully embracing the blessings God has in store for you. Transformation requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to release old ways of thinking so that you can receive God's higher wisdom and truth. And then there are habits, patterns of behavior that drain your energy, keep you stagnant, or distract you from fulfilling your divine calling. These habits may have once provided comfort or familiarity, but they no longer serve the person you are becoming. To walk fully in God's purpose, you must be willing to break free from anything that hinders your growth. So do not fear the pruning process. Do not resist the transformation. Trust that God knows what He is doing and embrace the renewal He is bringing into your life. You are not losing, you are ascending. As this divine transformation unfolds within you, something profound will take root, an unshakable confidence that is not of this world. This is not arrogance or self-importance, but holy assurance, a deep and unwavering knowing that you are chosen, anointed, and fully equipped for the journey ahead. It is the realization that God's hand is upon you, guiding your steps and empowering you to walk boldly in the purpose He has ordained for your life. You will begin to carry yourself differently, not out of pride, but out of a newfound certainty in who you are in Christ. The doubts that once held you captive will begin to dissolve, replaced by an unbreakable trust in God's promises. Your posture will reflect this shift. You will stand taller, move with grace, and radiate an inner strength that cannot be ignored. The transformation will be visible not only in your appearance, but in the way you engage with the world. Your words will carry a new weight, infused with authority and clarity. No longer will you second-guess yourself or hesitate to speak the truth. Instead, you will declare the things of God with conviction, knowing that the words He places in your heart have power. When you speak, people will listen not because of your own strength, but because they will recognize the presence of God in your voice. And without even trying, you will inspire others. The light within you will draw people in, not because of anything you do, but because of who you have become. The transformation God has worked in your life will serve as a living testimony to His power, igniting hope and faith in those around you. They will see the confidence with which you move, the boldness with which you step forward, and they will long to experience the same divine renewal. Gone are the days of doubting your worth. No longer will you question whether you are enough, whether you are capable, or whether you deserve the blessings God has placed before you. The voices of fear and insecurity will fade into the background, replaced by the undeniable truth that you are a child of God, fearfully and wonderfully made, set apart for something extraordinary. Embrace the destiny that God Himself has prepared for you. Do not shrink back in fear, for He has called you, strengthened you, and equipped you for this moment. You are stepping into your divine destiny. You are radiating the supernatural light of God. You are living proof that when God transforms, it is undeniable. So walk forward with faith, joy, and unwavering confidence. For you are chosen, you are renewed, you are forever young by God's gift. Walk in confidence, knowing that your path has been divinely ordained. And nothing, no doubt, no opposition, no force of this world can stand in the way of what God has purposed for your life. Thank you for watching until the very end. If this message has blessed you, please like, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to our channel. Stay blessed and see you in the next video. There are mysteries in this world, truths so powerful that only a few are meant to understand them. And among these, there are secrets that God's chosen ones should never reveal. Think about it. There are things even you keep locked away, thoughts and plans you wouldn't share with just anyone. There is immense power in silence, yet this power often goes unnoticed. Silence is not merely an absence of words, it is a shield, a strategy, a force that guards your destiny. By choosing silence, you become an enigma, less predictable, less vulnerable, and far more powerful than you realize. Not everything is meant to be spoken. In today's revealing message, I will share with you 5 crucial things that God's chosen ones should never discuss publicly. Some matters are meant to be kept between you and the Lord alone. Stay with me until the end to uncover these divine revelations, truths that will protect your journey and empower your spiritual growth. 1. Your future plans and dreams, the power of hidden growth. Your dreams and future plans are among the most sacred gifts God has given you, and they must be protected, nurtured, and guarded with wisdom. The enemy does not have full access to your destiny. He cannot see the future as God does. Instead, he operates through assumptions, gathering information based on what you reveal. The more details you carelessly share, the more opportunities you give him to interfere, delay, or even derail God's plan for your life. Proverbs 29:11 reminds us that a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise person holds back. It is not about secrecy for secrecy's sake, but about understanding the importance of divine timing and discretion. Consider Mary, the mother of Jesus. She was given one of the most profound revelations in human history, that she would bear the Son of God. Yet, she did not go about broadcasting this news to everyone she met. Instead, she pondered these things in her heart, Luke 2:19, waiting for the appointed time. This is a powerful lesson. Not everything God shows you is meant for immediate exposure. Some visions are like seeds planted in the soil. They require time to take root, grow, and strengthen before they are ready to bear fruit. If exposed too soon, they may not survive skepticism, criticism, or spiritual attack. Many dreams fail, not because they lack divine origin, but because they are revealed prematurely. Announcing your plans too early can invite doubt, discouragement, and even opposition from those who do not share your vision. Some may belittle your aspirations, question your abilities, or attempt to steer you away from your purpose. Others, driven by envy, may actively work against you. Even well-meaning people can unintentionally sow seeds of fear and hesitation in your heart, causing you to second-guess what God has placed within you. The Bible provides numerous examples of this. Joseph, the dreamer, learned this lesson the hard way. When he eagerly shared his God-given dreams with his brothers, their jealousy led them to betray him, selling him into slavery, Genesis 37. Though God ultimately fulfilled his promise in Joseph's life, his premature revelation brought unnecessary hardship along the way. The wise move in silence, allowing their progress to speak for itself. Instead of seeking public validation, surrender your plans to God in prayer. Seek counsel only from a trusted circle, those who are spiritually mature, discerning, and genuinely supportive. Allow your dreams to mature in the secret place, where they are safe from harm. When the time is right, God himself will bring them into the light. Just as a tree does not announce its growth, but eventually bears fruit for all to see, your success will become evident in due time. Until then, walk in patience, wisdom, and faith, knowing that what God has started in you, he will surely bring to completion. Philippians 1:6. 2. Your family matters, guarding the sacred circle. Your family is one of the most precious gifts God has given you, and it deserves to be protected, honored, and guarded with wisdom. Yet, many people make the mistake of exposing their family's private struggles to the world, unknowingly opening doors for unnecessary judgment, gossip, and even division. Whether it's marital disputes, financial difficulties, conflicts with children, or personal struggles, not everything should be shared with outsiders. In today's world, where people impulsively vent their frustrations on social media or confide in acquaintances who do not have their best interests at heart, many unknowingly weaken the foundation of their own households. The Bible teaches us in Proverbs 17:9, "Whoever would foster love covers an offense, but whoever repeats the matter separates close friends." This means that true wisdom lies in protecting your family's dignity rather than exposing its weaknesses. One of the greatest dangers of oversharing family matters is that most people you confide in have their own struggles, but they do not share them with you. They keep their issues private while you openly discuss yours, making your family vulnerable to scrutiny and criticism. Moreover, when you expose the flaws of your loved ones in moments of frustration, you shape how others perceive them, and those impressions are often difficult to erase. A moment of anger can lead to lasting damage in the eyes of relatives, friends, and even the public. What's worse, those who do not have your family's best interests at heart may use your words against you, twisting your vulnerabilities into weapons. Instead of strengthening your household, oversharing can invite more problems and drive deeper wedges between family members. Consider how Mary and Joseph handled their own challenges. When Joseph first learned of Mary's pregnancy, he had every reason to feel confused and betrayed, yet he did not publicly disgrace her, Matthew 1:19. He chose discretion, and because of his wisdom, God provided divine clarity and guidance. Imagine if Mary had gone around venting about Joseph's initial doubts. How much damage would that have caused to their relationship and to God's divine plan? Instead, they resolved their matters privately, trusting in God's direction. This is a powerful lesson for us today. Some issues are meant to be handled within the sacred circle of family. Rather than exposing family struggles to the wrong people, seek wise counsel from spiritually mature mentors or counselors who uphold confidentiality and can provide godly wisdom. Not everyone who listens to your problems truly cares, and not every piece of advice is rooted in biblical truth. 1 Peter 4:8 reminds us, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Love does not mean ignoring problems, but it does mean handling them with grace, patience, and wisdom rather than reckless exposure. By choosing discretion over public drama, you create a home that is a sanctuary of trust, healing, and restoration. Your family is your sacred circle. Protect it fiercely and trust that God, who sees all things, will guide you through every challenge with his divine wisdom. 3. Your first victories and breakthroughs. Letting success speak for itself. One of the most crucial lessons in life is knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, especially when it comes to your first victories and breakthroughs. It is natural to feel excited when God opens doors, grants a promotion, provides financial blessings, or gives you success in a new venture. The temptation to immediately announce these blessings can be strong, but wisdom teaches us that premature exposure can attract unnecessary opposition. Proverbs 21:5 warns us, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty." This means that while your success is worth celebrating, it must be handled with patience and discretion. Consider the life of David. Before he became king, he had one of the most remarkable victories in history, defeating Goliath. Yet, even after this great triumph, he did not boast about his success or declare himself Israel's next ruler. Instead, he continued to serve humbly, waiting for God's perfect timing. If David had prematurely exalted himself, he might have drawn the wrath of King Saul too soon and jeopardized his future reign. His story teaches us an important lesson. Early victories are fragile, and announcing them too soon can attract envy, sabotage, and spiritual attacks. In the same way, young entrepreneurs, professionals, and dreamers often make the mistake of sharing their breakthroughs too soon. They start a business, and before it's even stable, they boast about their achievements, only to later struggle under unforeseen challenges. Some people announce new relationships before they have been tested, and when problems arise, they are left dealing with public scrutiny. Others receive a financial breakthrough and immediately showcase their wealth, attracting the wrong kind of attention. The Bible provides clear guidance on this in Proverbs 27:2. Let another praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. True success does not need to be broadcasted. It will eventually speak for itself. Additionally, not everyone who listens to your victories is happy for you. Some may pretend to support you, but inwardly, they are envious or even working against you. Joseph, in the book of Genesis, learned this the hard way. When he shared his dreams of greatness with his brothers, instead of celebrating, they became jealous and sold him into slavery. Genesis 37. His destiny was still fulfilled, but his premature revelation led to unnecessary suffering. His story is a clear warning. Sometimes silence is your best protection. When God blesses you, take time to establish your foundation before making public declarations. Let your achievements grow in strength and stability before revealing them. Instead of rushing to seek validation, trust that in the right season, your victories will be undeniable. Success that is built in silence and sustained with wisdom will endure, while success that is flaunted prematurely often crumbles under pressure. Stay humble, stay focused, and let God's hand be the one that lifts you up in due time. 4. Your financial situation. Wealth and wisdom in secrecy money has a way of revealing a person's character, and how you handle your financial situation, whether wealth or lack, can determine the level of peace, security, and wisdom in your life. Many people fall into the trap of openly discussing their earnings, assets, investments, and financial struggles, not realizing that such information can invite unwanted attention, jealousy, manipulation, or even spiritual attacks. In today's social media age, it has become common to flaunt luxury purchases, exotic vacations, or financial milestones for public validation. However, Proverbs 13:11 warns us, "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it." True financial success is not about displaying riches, it is about stewarding them wisely. One of the greatest dangers of openly discussing your financial situation is that not everyone who listens has good intentions. Some may begin to treat you differently, expecting favors or handouts. Others may develop envy, leading to strained relationships and hidden resentment. Even family members can become opportunistic when they believe you have more than they do. On the other hand, if you frequently talk about your financial struggles, some may judge you, look down on you, or even use that information against you. Your financial state, whether abundant or lacking, is personal, and discretion is key. The Bible teaches us in Proverbs 27:2, "Let another praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips." This applies even in financial matters. Let your lifestyle speak for itself, rather than making unnecessary declarations about your wealth or success. Joseph, in the book of Genesis, was entrusted with great wealth and resources in Egypt, yet he handled them with wisdom and discretion. He did not flaunt his position, but instead he strategically stored grain during years of plenty, ensuring long-term stability. Genesis 41. His financial prudence not only preserved his own future, but also saved an entire nation from famine. Similarly, in modern life, wise individuals understand the importance of modesty and financial privacy. Avoid announcing promotions, business profits, or salary increases unnecessarily. Avoid discussing bank balances, investments, or inheritances, even with close relatives, unless absolutely necessary. When God blesses you financially, focus on responsible stewardship rather than public exhibition. Matthew 6:3 advises, "But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." This shows that even in acts of generosity, privacy is valuable. By keeping your financial affairs discreet, you protect yourself from fraud, exploitation, envy, and unnecessary pressure. Focus on using your resources wisely, living within your means, and seeking God's guidance in financial decisions. The wealth that is quietly accumulated, wisely invested, and generously shared in humility will stand the test of time. True prosperity is not about showing the world what you have. It is about honoring God with what He has given you and ensuring it is used for His glory. 5. Your spiritual encounters, the mystery of divine secrets. There are moments in life when God reveals Himself to us in ways that are deeply personal, through visions, dreams, divine encounters, prophecies, and revelations. These experiences are sacred, meant to strengthen our faith, guide us, and prepare us for the journey ahead. However, not every spiritual encounter is meant to be shared publicly. Some are intended for your heart alone, for a season of incubation, reflection, and growth before being revealed, if ever. Matthew 7:6 warns us, "Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces." This means that sharing divine encounters with the wrong audience can lead to mockery, misunderstanding, and even spiritual attacks. The Bible provides clear examples of men and women who received divine revelations, but were instructed to keep them secret. In 2 Corinthians 12:4, Paul speaks of being caught up into paradise, where he heard inexpressible things, things that no one is permitted to tell. Likewise, in Revelation 10:4, John was about to write down what the seven thunders spoke, but he was told to seal up what was said and not reveal it. These instances show that some spiritual revelations are not meant for public discussion. They are meant for personal transformation and deeper intimacy with God. Even Mary, the mother of Jesus, demonstrated the wisdom of discretion. When the angel Gabriel told her that she would give birth to the Son of God, she did not run and declare it to the world. Instead, Luke 2:19 tells us that Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. She allowed the promise to grow within her, just as she physically carried the Son of God before the fullness of time brought it into the light. This is a powerful lesson. Some revelations require spiritual maturity and divine timing before they can be shared. Speaking too soon may lead to doubt, opposition, or even attempts by the enemy to derail what God has planned. Unfortunately, in today's world, many people seek attention through their spiritual experiences, turning divine encounters into sensational stories for personal recognition rather than genuine testimony. This can lead to misinterpretation, pride, and distraction from the true purpose of the revelation. Instead of treating spiritual encounters as casual conversation, we should honor them with humility and discernment. When God speaks to you, whether through a dream, vision, or personal revelation, seek His guidance before sharing it. Ask Him, "Lord, is this something I should speak about, or is this something I should carry in my heart?" In many cases, God will instruct you to pray over it, meditate on it, and allow it to shape you privately before revealing it to others. Spiritual depth is cultivated in silence, where God refines, strengthens, and prepares you for what is to come. True wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. May God grant you the discernment to protect the mysteries He entrusts to you, allowing them to deepen your faith rather than seeking approval from the world. Silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. God's chosen ones understand when to speak and when to remain silent. Your future, your family, your victories, your finances, and your spiritual encounters, these are treasures to guard. Let wisdom be your guide. Let silence be your strength. If you found this message powerful, subscribe, like, and share. May God bless you abundantly as you walk in divine wisdom. In the vastness of life, there are moments when certain individuals feel a tug, an undeniable call that beckons them toward a greater purpose. This calling is not always understood by those around them, nor is it an easy path to walk. To be chosen by God is to be set apart, to walk a path that may lead through shadows, yet promises eternal light. The journey is not without cost, and the sacrifices are real, but the reward that awaits those who endure is far beyond anything this world can offer. If you find yourself walking this path, you are not alone. This message is for you, the chosen one. This journey is not for the faint of heart, but for those whose spirits resonate with a deeper calling, one that transcends earthly understanding. It is a path marked by challenges, spiritual warfare, and moments of solitude, but also a path that leads to a divine inheritance, an eternal glory beyond imagination. To be chosen by God is a calling that sets you apart, even in the midst of a crowd. It's a journey that often requires walking alone, a path that not everyone around you will understand or even support. Think of Abraham, the patriarch of faith, who was called to leave everything behind: his family, his homeland, his established security, and venture into the unknown at God's command. At that moment, Abraham had no roadmap, no certainty, only faith. He left the comfort of the familiar for the uncertainty of a divine promise, knowing that God had something far greater ahead, even if the road was unclear. His obedience wasn't just a personal act. It was a sacrifice that shaped the future, not just of his life, but of entire nations. Through his willingness to give up everything, God established a covenant with him that would impact generations to come. In our lives, as chosen ones, we often face similar calls to sacrifice things that others cannot comprehend. You might find yourself walking away from relationships that once felt secure, from careers that once provided stability, or from lifestyles that once offered comfort. Each of these decisions may feel like a loss, and at times you might question whether the price of your obedience is too high. You may find yourself walking through seasons of uncertainty, feeling as though you are wandering in a desert with no clear destination. But in these moments, take heart. Just as God honored Abraham's willingness to sacrifice, He honors your sacrifices as well. God sees every moment of pain, every tear, every struggle you face. He is aware of the cost you're paying, and He is not a God who forgets. In Hebrews 6:10, we are reminded, "For God is not unjust so as to forget your work and the love you have shown toward His name." Every sacrifice you make in faith is not in vain. God uses these sacrifices to refine you, to mold your character, and to prepare you for the next stage of your divine calling. While the sacrifices may seem daunting, the process itself is vital to your spiritual growth. Each act of obedience, though costly, is a stepping stone toward the greater purpose God has set for your life. It's easy to focus on what you lose along the way: the comforts, the relationships, the familiar surroundings. But true sacrifice is not about loss, it's about what you gain. When Abraham left everything behind, he not only gained a deeper trust in God, but also the promise of becoming the father of many nations. Through his obedience, God fulfilled promises that were greater than he could have ever imagined. Likewise, the sacrifices you make in obedience to God's call will lead you to a future far greater than you could envision. The promises of God are far more valuable than any temporary comfort or earthly security. They are eternal, and they are worth every sacrifice. The sacrifices you make today will be the foundation of the greater things God is preparing for you tomorrow. Trust that just as He honored Abraham, God will honor your obedience, and He will be with you every step of the way. As you walk in faith, you are not alone. He is refining you for the divine purpose He has set before you, and the promises of God will always outweigh the cost of obedience. When you are chosen by God, you suddenly find yourself on the front lines of spiritual warfare. This battle is not one fought with physical weapons or seen by the world around you, but with spiritual forces that aim to disrupt, discourage, and derail you from the purpose God has set before you. The enemy recognizes the potential within you and will do everything in his power to hinder your progress. Think of Joseph, who was divinely chosen to lead a nation. His journey was filled with overwhelming adversity, betrayal by his own brothers, false accusations, and imprisonment for crimes he did not commit. It seemed as though everything was falling apart, and that the road ahead was blocked by insurmountable obstacles. Yet through it all, Joseph's faith remained unshaken. He understood that the trials he faced were not signs of God's absence, but rather evidence that he was exactly where God wanted him to be. Joseph's story is a powerful reminder that when God chooses you for a specific purpose, it often involves spiritual battles that are meant to refine you and build your character rather than defeat you. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world." These battles are spiritual in nature, fought against forces that we cannot see, but they are not designed to destroy us. In fact, they are part of God's divine plan to prepare us for something greater. The enemy might try to use these challenges to make you question your faith or to weaken your resolve. But remember this, the spiritual warfare you face is not the end of your story. Just as Joseph's trials were used to prepare him for his ultimate position of power, the battles you face are merely stepping stones to the elevation God has planned for you. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when faced with spiritual battles. The weight of the struggle can leave you weary, and at times it may seem like nothing is going right. However, this is where you must hold fast to the truth that God is with you, even in the midst of the storm. The battles you are fighting today are not meant to defeat you, but to refine and strengthen you for the future God has ordained. God is shaping your character, making you more resilient, more faithful, and more equipped to handle the blessings that are yet to come. Do not grow weary or lose heart, for God is actively fighting on your behalf. Exodus 14:14 declares, "The Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still." This verse reminds us that in times of spiritual warfare, we are not called to fight alone. God Himself will step in and defend us, giving us the strength we need to endure. In moments of spiritual struggle, remember that God is not distant or indifferent to your pain. He is not a far-off God, but a present and active force in your life, strengthening you in ways you may not even realize. While the enemy works tirelessly to bring doubt and fear, God is preparing you for the victory that is on its way. The battles you face are not permanent. They are merely the tools God uses to refine you and shape you into the person you need to be for the next phase of your journey. So, stand firm in your faith, knowing that God is fighting for you and that the victory is already secured. One of the most profound and often painful costs of being chosen by God is the loneliness that accompanies it. Throughout the journey of the chosen ones, moments of isolation are inevitable. When Elijah, one of God's most powerful prophets, triumphed over the prophets of Baal, he thought his victory would bring him peace. Yet after this monumental moment, Elijah found himself fleeing for his life, consumed by a deep sense of loneliness and despair. In 1 Kings 19, we see Elijah crying out to God, feeling as though he was the only faithful one left. "I have been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. I am the only one left," he says in his moment of distress. His victory had been followed by overwhelming loneliness, and he was burdened with the weight of his calling, feeling utterly abandoned. Have you ever felt this way, or wondered if anyone truly understands the heaviness of your calling, the sacrifices you've made, or the loneliness that often follows you on this journey? The path of the chosen often leads through valleys of loneliness, places where the weight of responsibility feels isolating. As you pursue the calling that God has set before you, you may experience times when it feels as though no one else shares your vision, or no one understands the sacrifices you've made to walk this path. The enemy uses these moments to whisper lies into your mind, lies that tell you that you are forgotten, abandoned, or unseen. He seeks to make you believe that your sacrifices are meaningless and that the loneliness you feel is a sign of God's distance. But these are lies that must be rejected. Just as God came to Elijah in his despair and isolation, he is also present with you in your moments of loneliness. God's word in Psalm 34:18 promises, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." He is near to you, even in your isolation, and he understands the weight of the burden you carry. Loneliness in the journey of the chosen one is not a punishment or sign of divine neglect. It is a sacred and necessary season of preparation. In these moments of solitude, God often removes us from the noise of the world and its distractions so that we can hear his voice more clearly. It is in the quiet, when everything else fades away, that he draws near to refine our faith and teach us to depend on him completely. When you are alone, you may feel that you are abandoned, but the truth is, God is preparing you for something greater. This season of loneliness is a time when he is refining your character, strengthening your trust, and teaching you to rely on his presence alone. Though it may feel as though you are walking through this journey by yourself, you are never truly alone. God is always with you, even when the world seems silent. He has promised to never leave you or forsake you. His angels surround you, and his comforting presence is with you in every moment of isolation. Just as he sent an angel to minister to Elijah during his darkest hour, God will send his divine comfort to you. Trust in his faithfulness. The loneliness you experience is not a sign of abandonment, but an opportunity for deeper communion with God. It is in these quiet moments that he draws closest, refining you for the purpose he has set before you. As you navigate the loneliness of being chosen, remember that this season is not wasted. It is a time of divine preparation, and it is through this isolation that God is shaping you into the person he has called you to be. You are never truly alone. God is with you, and his presence will sustain you every step of the way. Suffering is one of the most challenging costs of being chosen by God, and it is a reality that cannot be avoided in the Christian walk. It's a part of the journey that many would prefer to skip, yet it is through suffering that God refines and purifies us. The refining fire is not intended to harm us. Rather, it is a process designed to purify our hearts and strengthen our faith. Just as gold must pass through fire to be purified, our faith must undergo trials and suffering to be purified and refined. In this process, the impurities of pride, self-sufficiency, and doubt are burned away, leaving behind a faith that is unshakable, strong, and pure. Consider the life of Job, a man whom God chose to endure intense suffering. Job's life was a perfect example of how suffering can refine a person. He lost everything, his wealth, his family, his health, and yet he never lost his faith in God. Despite the overwhelming pain and loss, Job chose to trust in God's plan for his life. His suffering was not a punishment, it was a preparation for the blessings that God had in store for him. In the end, God restored everything Job had lost, and even gave him more than he had before. Job's story serves as a powerful reminder that suffering is not without purpose. It is often the catalyst for spiritual growth and greater blessings. In Romans 5:3-4, we are reminded of the purpose behind suffering. We also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. Suffering is not something to be feared or avoided, but embraced as part of God's divine process. It produces perseverance, the ability to keep going when things get tough. This perseverance builds character, shaping us into individuals who reflect the heart of God. Ultimately, that character produces hope, a hope that anchors us and keeps us moving forward, even in the most difficult circumstances. The suffering you experience today is not in vain. It is shaping you into the person God has called you to be. It is a refining process that makes you more like Christ, strengthening your faith and your character, and preparing you for the blessings God has set aside for you. As you walk through the fire, trust that God is with you, refining you and shaping you for the purposes He has designed. The pain you experience today is not the end of the story. It is only the beginning of a deeper, more vibrant faith that will carry you through life's greatest challenges. Just as the fire purifies gold, the trials you face are purifying your faith, making it stronger, more resilient, and more refined for the beautiful future that awaits you. The reward for those who endure the cost of being chosen is beyond anything we can truly comprehend. Jesus Himself assures us in Matthew 19:29, "And everyone who has left houses, or brothers or sisters, or father or mother, or wife or children or fields, for my sake, will receive 100 times as much and will inherit eternal life." The promise is clear. The cost of following God and being chosen may feel heavy, but the reward that awaits is far greater than we can imagine. The reward of the chosen is not limited to the life to come. It extends to this life as well. Just as Joseph's journey from the prison to the palace proved, the perseverance and faithfulness through trials bring about elevation and fulfillment of God's promises. Abraham, who was called to leave everything familiar, became the father of nations, and Elijah, whose ministry was renewed despite periods of intense isolation, experienced the faithfulness of God. In the same way, when you endure hardships, sacrifices, and spiritual battles, you too will experience the rewards of your perseverance. God is faithful to those who remain faithful to Him, and His promises will never fail. Moreover, the reward of being chosen is not just for you, it is for future generations. God's blessings are generational. When He elevates you, He does so not only to honor your faithfulness, but to establish His covenant with those who will come after you. The impact of your obedience and perseverance extends far beyond your lifetime, touching the lives of your children, grandchildren, and many others who will benefit from the foundation you build through your faith. What you endure and the sacrifices you make today will ripple through the generations, creating a legacy of faithfulness that will outlive you. However, the ultimate reward for the chosen is not of this world. It is the promise of eternal life with God. Jesus tells us in John 14:2-3, "In my Father's house are many mansions. I'm going to prepare a place for you." The eternal reward that awaits those who endure is immeasurable. It transcends anything this world can offer. The struggles and sacrifices of this life will pale in comparison to the joy of being with God forever. He blesses us with peace that surpasses all understanding, joy that cannot be taken away, and His abiding presence that sustains us. These are the treasures that sustain us as we wait for the full manifestation of God's promises, knowing that our reward is secure in heaven. As you endure the cost of being chosen, remember that God's promises are far greater than any sacrifice you make. Whether in this life or the next, the reward will be more than you could ever ask or imagine, and it will last for all eternity. As the chosen ones walk in obedience to God's call, they leave behind a powerful legacy that extends far beyond their own lives. Think of the lives of biblical figures like Abraham, Joseph, Esther, and David. Through their obedience and unwavering faith, they shaped the course of history, Abraham's obedience led to the establishment of a great nation. Joseph's faithfulness saved an entire people. Esther's courage brought deliverance to her people, and David's heart after God's own led to the rise of Israel. These stories serve as reminders that our lives too have the potential to leave a lasting legacy when we choose to walk in God's purpose. Your life, just like theirs, has the power to become a living testimony of God's faithfulness, courage, and love. As you walk in obedience to God's call, you are not just living for today, but are laying the foundation for a legacy that will endure for generations. Hebrews 12:1 encourages us with these words, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. The faith and perseverance of those who have gone before us inspire us to press forward toward the prize, knowing that our journey is part of a much larger story." The legacy of the chosen one is not defined by worldly success or accolades, but by the impact on the kingdom of God. Every prayer you pray, every step of faith you take, and every act of kindness you perform adds to the legacy you are building. The way you live your life in obedience to God will leave an imprint on the hearts of those around you and on the lives of those who will come after you. Your obedience, no matter how small it may seem at the moment, is part of a bigger picture, pointing others to the God who is faithful to his promises. As you walk this journey, remember that your life is not just about you. It is about the generations you are impacting and the eternal difference you are making. Beloved, the journey of the chosen is not easy, but it is worth it. The cost is high, the sacrifices are real, and the battles are fierce. Yet, the reward is beyond what we can imagine. God sees every tear, every sacrifice, every step of faith you've taken, and he is faithful to reward those who diligently seek him. Keep fighting, keep believing, keep pressing forward. Your reward is closer than you think. Embrace the cost, knowing that the reward is already secured for you in heaven. Every sacrifice you make is preparing you for the eternal glory that awaits. You are chosen, beloved. Now is the time to embrace the cost and prepare for the reward that is coming. Believe it, receive it, and walk in it. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Let's subscribe and like this video to stay connected if you haven't subscribed yet. For those who have already subscribed, we deeply appreciate your continued support. Your faithfulness is a blessing, and we're grateful to walk this path with you.